No, you're fine. I just, my husband's so used to me tearing off everything.
She didn't have to worry about her.
Oh, you were worried about me.
Morning, everybody.
So,
Come prepared, don't you?
well, you know, you never know.
A little bit of time here.
Well, if you don't do that, quiet, I may have to move
I
out
thought
that
you
stuff.
were display for the Winterize.
They usually have a little PA system.
Do something different this year, so.
Well, the camping side of it did us when I'm ready more than I knew one in January.
Oh, there you go.
We've only had ours for a year.
Oh, I finally decided
A 19 Freedom Express limited
Put
edition.
mine in
So we're
storage,
looking
found a
at
storage place.
25, so it's not real
45
much bigger,
dollars.
but it's got all room in there.
Four sides.
Oh, I would love to, but I'm ready to move into that permanently, but he doesn't want to.
I really couldn't decide on
I
the
said,
property.
oh, it was get rid of
I would go full time if I can get my wife to.
Oh, I would do it.
You know,
I just
just
can't.
couldn't really envision attaching to it. You
No,
know,
no,
it's
no, no,
already
see,
mine.
I'm done. I'm like, I don't want any of this stuff, I can get rid of
Well, I
everything.
really.
My wife wants to sit out here in the camping ground. She don't want to leave the ground.
Now that does suck. I give you that. I told her if I did that, I would give one of those. What they call it. You just hook up a little garden hose to it.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And it
Pretty
mulches.
level on.
I don't know
You
what
don't have that
campground
hose.
That's
and you
where
run
all
a
We do a
little
lot
hose out
of
there.
hotels, we do
Yeah.
state parks, we
And
live, we like
running
Linville, so
somebody's ditch.
close, 20 minutes from our house, so.
I don't know about that.
But,
It's out of trade somewhere, you know.
I think, you know, those
Okay, how about a campground?
Yeah, 300 foot, you know.
South Carolina,
Make sure the
10
wind's
minutes
up.
from Hilton Head.
Yeah, that was very
Golf course.
Yeah.
It has a
Yeah, don't make that mistake.
huge pool. It has a clubhouse, a very nice clubhouse, where it has a restaurant in there. Oh my
I
gosh.
know me, I'm gonna build a pole barn big enough to put all my implements.
And I've stayed for 2 weeks on there. Yes, I've been,
Be cheaper for me
I'm
than
horrible. I
what
have joined every Facebook, RVing group. But we're looking at the.
I think I've been at it 15 years.
Different brand.
Everybody start building these barns.
My wife seen these videos on that. That's every day.
Oh, on different stuff.
And then my wife
Of course, I
saw
remember.
You're a lot younger than I am.
I say,
What size do you have?
We got
the budget just.
it's 38 foot fifth wheel.
But I got things in this
I would love to.
And the beauty of it, it's only 6 miles
But
from
I don't
the
have to fold it.
coast.
So we come.
I personally,
That's good. Not having to drive. It's a
We
long
may have to
way.
tell him now.
Tell me what.
Well, it'd be.
no, that's for me, it may not be for
He
them.
said the fifth wheel is easier to pull than the bumper.
I'm gonna hurt you here. So what you need to do is go look at some really nice classes.
Oh, really?
Get up, fix coffee and sandwiches and
Holy crap.
John had
And
children.
when you pull them, you got one bone, you're fully self-contained, so you just pull it, rest area, you don't want to spend money.
Nothing really keeps them on.
So we went by
Generator starts.
last Sunday.
Oh, and you joined, I didn't join this one. Because you didn't say.
Here's mom's
This
car,
one I
you
did
drive
this
it for
last
3 months while we're gone, you can have a nice car, he was like, what?
We were camping.
Best we can do is, we'll see you next year.
And he gave us this app from Illinois.
We're bachelor party.
And then dollars worth for camping for like a whole week.
Right.
To see the Christmas.
You going camping?
Yeah.
So this tells you every place you can stop.
Leave out
and
in
Well, there's like the dirt,
They've
they've got a good app that's got a lot of free camping and other stuff like that.
there.
The dirt, and we just, we do a lot out west,
Stay one night.
Utah and Colorado.
Oh, so we're gonna do that eventually, but we're still working full time.
We did it, we didn't go more than 100 or 200 miles the first couple of years.
Do they open up?
That's what we're doing. We haven't even made it to Indianapolis yet.
There's RVing life or something like that also. It's,
Pendant, what's that? How you say it?
Yeah.
Camp Pendant,
Yeah.
And road trippers.
Yeah, road trip.
Right.
Yeah, road trippers.
Have you heard of that other one?
Finding a seat.
Yeah, there's one. You know, one of them's a maid.
Go ahead and kind of get started here.
2026.
Yeah.
That's a good ring.
We'll spend some time this morning talking about how to prepare your RVs for winter and some things try to prevent trouble in the spring already. We'll go over that today. Put your hand. How many of you all winterize your own RVs? That's good. How many of you call me? That's better.
I think just one on.
No, we'll go through today, kind of, we've hit that time of year where back there's a service rider, we're getting a lot of phone calls, we're seeing the forecast. We had a couple days, maybe sometime in that first week of November. Some of you were at Brian Pickman's camp out, you know, right after that was over. We had a couple days there. Got pretty cold. And then we've got some coming this next week too. So first and foremost on preparing one for winter is obviously the plumbing and getting the water out of the plumbing system, getting that purged with antifreeze so that it can survive winter temperatures. In doing that, go to several of these different campers, and there could be a number of different options of how each one of them pulls the antifreeze into the system. Those of you that do your own, put your hands. Are you using antifreeze or are you blowing them out?
Both.
And that's good. That's good if you're doing both and using that antifreeze. Because what we run into, blowing out is effective. One area that it can miss is the check valve in the head of that pump, and that air doesn't get to that when you're blowing out. So the antifreeze in turn purges through there and pushes that water out the head of that pump, protects that for. But like I say, there's. May have some of the nicer fifth wheels that come equipped with a series of valves in the wet bay. In turn, and set how you want it to pull antifreeze in. Or you may, some of these travel trailers, you'll have a hose coming out the side of your pump that's designed to go in one of these bottles. You know, to pull antifreeze out of the system that way as well. But kind of starting from scratch, first thing you're going to do is get your tanks in. Drain your freshwater tank. You need to drain your black tank, your gray tank. Drain your water heaters. How many of you drain your water heaters after each camp? It's a good habit to get into because what we hear and what we see kind of get a sulfury smell to it pretty quick if you leave that water in there very long at all. And it doesn't take long for that to happen. But as you're draining your water heater, if it is a tanked water heater, which now more and more the tankless option is becoming more popular, but if it is a tanked water heater, you're going to want to put the water heater on bypass. What is that? So the water heater has a cold water supply going in the bottom, and then it has a hot water return coming out the top. And when it's up and running, the cold water goes in, it heats up, it comes out, and it goes out to your fixtures. But when you winterize, you don't want to run run that antifreeze into your water heater. Some folks do, but it just uses a lot more antifreeze to have to do that. You have 6 gallons in the water heater. So put that on bypass to where that cold and hot is cut off from the tank itself. So you're taking the tank out of the equation, and you have a bypass hose that runs from the hot to the cold line, open that up so that your antifreeze still runs through your lines. And doesn't run through your water heater. And doing that protects the water heater. Now, how many of you have tankless units on? So that is a big question we get. What do I need to do to winterize my tankless water heater? And there is some copper fittings and ports in that can hold water. We've seen some of them freeze and burst. Right in a fitting or so. In that, the antifreeze through that system just the same as you would, except don't turn it on. Don't heat that antifreeze up. When you get your system set up, open your hot lines, pressurize through that tankless system. There's not a bypass system on a tankless like there is in tank units, but there's still pulling in that system. Once you've got your water heater on bypass and ready to put your antifreeze into the system, go to each one of your fixtures. And it's easy to forget some because one that gets overlooked a lot is your outdoor shower. Forget that one. One that really gets overlooked, your shower, your toilet, your sinks, that's easy. The outdoor shower gets overlooked quite a bit, and the city water inlet. There's a check valve in there. And if all that system is pressurized and pulling that antifreeze, you go to that check valve, release it, push in on it. You'll see, if you go to it, you'll see a little screen, like a little screen washer in there. You pull that out, and you can see that check valve behind that. Press that, and that will release pressure and push the water out until the antifreeze comes out. Yeah, don't stand in front, directly in front of it, especially with a shirt on that you're in front of it. Because it will shoot straight out when you press that release. Once you've got your antifreeze in your system, your water heater on bypass, all your holding tanks drained, a lot of folks will go to their sinks, put some antifreeze down there. Those sinks have P-traps on them, so it's good to get some antifreeze in that system. And from there, your plumbing is set for winter storage. Now, a lot of things that get overlooked that folks don't think about. You've got food in there, maybe crackers, hot cocoa mixes, anything that might be appealing to mouse or rodent. You can't store that in there all winter because that's asking for trouble. As you get ready to winterize, it's a good time, as any time is a good time to check your roof seals, check your silicone on the outsides of your walls, look your tires over, look on those tires, there's a date code on there. The way that works, it's a 4-digit code. The first 2 numbers are the week of the year that the tires were manufactured, and the last 2 numbers are the year. So have like the 3622, that was made the 36th week of 2022. That's what you kind of tell age of your tires. Going into winter, if you've had something that isn't working correctly or that maybe gave you a little bit of trouble through the camping season, that's an ideal time to dig into that. and see what's going on there, get that corrected. A lot of folks will store with their refrigerators and freezers open. Keep those from developing any kind of odor over the off season. Was much clutter as you could remove from one winter. Maybe a little who has questions? Somebody asked me a question. Yes, no. Yes, we give you directions. So we want to open those up to drain. You can recap them, especially if when your antifreeze is in. We have some folks that once they purge with antifreeze, they drain it back out. It's done its job. It's pushed an antifreeze pushes the water out. So once it's through, some people drain it. Here, we need the antifreeze system. But yes. And so, as you're draining your tanks, your load points will come off to keep the water out. We can close them, but there again, for sure in the gray, we'll put a little antifreeze in it. We need it to hold that. So, the knife valve or the dump valve will close the doors. Yeah.
How many gallons on average do you have to have this winterize?
Stuff like this?
Yeah.
2. Get into a bigger fifth wheel, some of the motorhomes, some of the real big motorhomes will go to as many as 6 or 7. But for the majority, yeah, there's a few tricks that if you don't get right, you chalk up the experience for the next time. So, who else? Got a question? Needs to know something.
Where's your little demo?
We are currently in discussion for remodeling our building and going forward with where we can display some tankless options, some of the newer stuff that's come out. So, it is in for remodel. Yes.
I was listening to a video the other day, and I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but we have a tankless, and I thought he was saying that there's something that you should pull out in the winter.
Some of them may have a pop-off valve, which you can pull through that. I just have to look to see. I know a lot of them, you just purge the antifreeze through. But there may be some, there's more brands all the time coming out on them. There may be some that have something. Yes, sir.
Her question is, mine has an inline filter that's part of the drain. When you pull it out, there's a filter in there, and the manufacturer says pull that out and then winterize it and leave that out.
Okay.
That's just on my brand. There's, like I said, there's not. But my question is, there's different kind of chemistries for the antifreeze, let's call it. Which one do you recommend? Is there one better for the seals that it sets on, or
Regular old.
well, there's different kinds of glycol. I know there's 2 or 3 different kinds of formulas, but I didn't know if you had a recommendation. That one there.
The one he said.
Yeah. Regular RVing antifreeze. That's set for 50 below. That will.
That's probably the one that got the best
crystallize some
rating.
freeze
Yeah.
down. It turns more like slush than solid.
I had the upper parts though.
It gets cold enough, that'll slush. it's a lot of time, you know, in a bottle.
If it gets 50 below, I don't care. I ain't gonna worry about it.
What else we got?
No, I sell packs every day.
Batteries. Good question. So what do you do with your battery in the wintertime?
Take mine out.
Ideally, you would, prior to put your trailer away or your RV away for the winter, plug it into shore, get your battery fully charged, and remove it. And put it somewhere, doesn't necessarily have to be somewhere that's heated, but somewhere where you've got a little control over temperature, specifically keeping it from getting into freezing temperatures. Charged battery will survive the winter. Fine. A discharged battery is capable of freezing. And we've seen freeze to the point of burst. It's game over for that one when that happens. So, get fully charged, whether you, I said you do that on shore, pull it and hook it to a battery charger if that, whatever, however you get that battery fully charged for the winter, and then store it somewhere where you've got a little control over keeping it out of freezing temperatures. That should give, you know, at that point when you're doing that, if you notice some corrosion or anything on the terminals, kind of makes it cleaner to put on that to help clean that up. Yes,
On the lithium battery, I know you're not supposed to charge it if it's below 32. Does it hurt that much, like if it's outside, like if it's 25 degrees or something like that, you're not really using it?
and you still got it plugged in?
No. It's better, should you leave it plugged in or not plugged in? Because if you leave it plugged in, it's actually charging, right?
Correct.
So it's better, like if it's going to go down to 25 degrees, just go ahead and plug it.
Ideally, it would be best if you had it removed and stored somewhere where you've got somewhat a little bit of control over the
But if
temperature.
it does get down like 25, so does it actually hurt the battery that much? If
It
it's not
would be a
plugged in,
lot better on it if it's fully charged versus if it's discharged.
it'd be okay.
You can put them inside. You can take them out and put them inside easily. I know some motorhomes you can't do that. You know, some of them may have 6 batteries in a tray. You know, you got all these cables. I mean, I get that. That's a pain in the butt. But yeah, I mean, but leaving them plugged in, that converter's running all the time, so you're wearing out that converter. And then, especially if you've got lead acid batteries, they'll boil over if it doesn't have the converter doesn't have like what they call a charge whizzer or you know something to monitor the charging. I mean, they just constantly charge and it'll boil that water out. If it does that, then that battery's gonna freeze.
To answer your question, would it survive the 25 degrees? You'd be better off if you
So like it was a couple of weeks ago, when it got down like 25, you know what I mean? I just plugged this one, the electrical outlet, and let it go on. I didn't know if that was that bad for it. You know, a couple of days I'm gonna take it out and plug it, you know what I mean? It's really cold, you know.
Yes, sir.
You can't get heaters.
That heaters too. Yes, sir.
So if we have you winterize our camper for us, what do you do with the battery? Should we come and get it and take it home for the winter?
When we get done with the winterization, the battery will still be on it because you're most likely going to need it to hook up. But once you get home, yeah, that would be the time to go ahead.
Or if
Okay, well, it's
if you're
storing it
storing
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, after it's back there, you come get it and
Okay.
take it home.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the motorhome, the battery can be very challenging. Yeah, but on the E-Pro, it has a solar panel on the front. This is a new experience. So that solar panel battery tank. And I haven't plugged the unit, so it's not ready.
Solar's free.
Solar's free,
Yeah.
but it
You're not
will
using it.
theoretically
You're not
be
using it.
battery charged, but that's not going
Yeah, but you're not out there using
to.
it. So if you have a disconnect, your battery,
My battery,
yeah, you have a battery disconnect as well.
there is one, but it's not.
So you're not using, the only thing that's gonna be running is usually your LP detector. Essentially. So you can pull a fuse on it.
Batteries will be okay with solar going to it. Okay.
Now, one thing I would add to that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to periodically through the winter, take a tester out there. Make sure you're still charging, but you don't, your solar charging system would
Go
fail.
out there with the meter. And see what-
Yeah, if it would fail,
There is a, in the back of that thing, there's a panel for the, there's a foot. It tells you what the.
Your charge controller.
yeah,
That is reliable as the meter.
and, I mean, checking that periodically throughout the winter, just to be sure that it's working properly. Yeah,
So far, I haven't, well, I didn't mess with it, but, winterization was a new experience finding the water.
Yeah, sometimes it's challenging to find them. You just gotta turn them on, listen, and
It's just not.
start
laid
taking
out.
stuff apart, find out where it's at.
I know, put them in some spot on a meeting. Who else? Question we get here, he brought up this, they store their unit here, should you cover? Storing outside sure helps. There again, when you cover, be sure you have a good, rodent prep process of, like I mentioned earlier, getting on the anything that a rodent might want to get in, because it's covered up. It is a good place for them to get and hide. We sell a number of covers. That's something you're interested in, we can kind of go through how to measure. Because it is easy to, it's not difficult to measure for one, but if not done correctly, you end up with the wrong size cover. So if any of you are interested in that, see, you're great, we can help you.
We'll make sure you get the right size cover. You don't want one that's too big, you don't want one that's too tight where it's hard to get it over. So just like Goldilocks, you want it just right.
Another thing that we see
Don't
folks
help.
do
Don't mind.
is to consider, depending on the atmosphere your unit is in the winter, most of the stuff, for humidity. Keeping that in mind. On that. Keep that in mind.
So what do you?
Oh, yeah, I do that anyway. I hope it
On the order around.
Little container.
On a travel trailer or fifth wheel, measure from this edge to the back edge. And then if you have a ladder or spare tire at a foot, that tells you what you need. Now, that being said, that length may fall right in between two different covers. So at that point, you make a decision whether you want to cover up that tire. Also, you got a spare tire cover on there anyway. If it means having 2 or 3 extra feet of cover hanging off, or not covering the tire in the cargo rack, I would not go with covering the tire in the cargo rack and have all that excess cover you're having to deal with, winds and all that, take an extra chance of tearing it up. That's why we have to have you measure, because once it's out of the box, we can't return it. So measure it, and we will make sure you get the right cover.
What do you say about humidity? What about, keeping your vent open in your bathroom? It's always got a cover over, of course, year round.
Get away with that in the, if you've got like the max air cover.
Right.
Maybe better.
I got a dehumidifier in there also, but it really does help. And it's like summertime, especially summertime and the wintertime as far as humidity. Yeah, keep it low.
So it's an air escape up the top.
Yeah. No, especially in the summertime, the hot air rises, so it was sucking right on out there, but.
Yeah.
You mentioned about, we store our camper here. I've read everything online, of course, about the rodent, keeping them out for the winter. What do you recommend? Because I've heard everything on the rodent issue. Like you can do the peppermint oil. I've heard the gust packets. I've heard this. I've heard that.
Spray,
What works?
bounce sheets.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't have a camper, but we've got some rodent repellent back there in some bags. I put them in my yard barn and I put them up my attic space.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any issues.
Okay.
My yard barns, I got a creek behind my yard barns. I've got, technically, I can get away with one, but I've got we're getting ready to move, got some stuff in there, so I put 4 of them in there. So,
Okay.
It's not an overpowering smell. It's not something you're going to go, oh my gosh, I'm going to air this thing out. But it deters the rodents.
Okay.
There's 4 in a box back there.
Sure.
For a camper this size here, you might use 2. You might put 1 in front, 1 in the back, just
Okay.
for that smell. And you're supposed to, go away from it. I've had people put them down underneath their camper as well, just on the outside as well. They're supposed to last about 3.5 months, I think.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I'll just
Good point of getting it in the motor.
In the engine compartment, good. Yeah, nice to get in there, some whirlwools.
There's so many different things that recommend online.
What is it
I'm like,
Wiring has.
I've had people say that works, I've had people say that doesn't work, so I can't speak.
Rural things send the best advice. They send you work. Start putting around the whole lot.
If you see the openings underneath, spray foam, buy a can of spray foam, they're gonna find any opening they can get into, so plug your wheel wells, that kind of stuff, where the water lines go, if there's a gap where the water line is. The factory, they spray foam them anyway. If there might be a gap there, just get you a can, just spray in there, just to kind of help close it up.
but then I read on
Yeah, they don't like
the
steel holes.
so easy just to throw them in.
What else?
I do that too.
It's easy.
Sue, you got any questions?
No, I you answered mine. I was saying, I wanted to find out.
You didn't cover the new stock battery, did you? The new? I turned my ear on, leave my blood.
I did read too that a lot of people recommend taking all your towels and sheets and at least putting them in an airtight container to store in there. But then somebody mentioned taking their mattress out. But I only saw that in one place. That seems really, I don't know where you would keep a mattress.
I don't have anybody taking their mattress out up here.
As long as you're trying
Unless
to,
they're doing it and we don't see it.
Yeah, that's not something that we.
as long as you try to control the humidity as best you can, that's,
It's not.
What about
It's like, we'll have a big problem here with.
it may have been the area this guy lived too. Maybe it was just really humid and
Knock on the
Yeah,
door,
but you don't have
any
anything in
issues
there.
back there with somebody's camper. Having issues laying inside of it.
The only thing,
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna take those.
bigger problem, but when you develop a water leak through the winter in the air, a common area
You still use it.
is where that nose cap and that roof come together, which a lot of times
That's what we're
right
looking at. See
over
what's
the bed,
the house.
especially
I'm
on the
looking
drag.
at trying to find.
You've seen them start leaking
And
there.
I said, just move it all in, and you don't wanna do
If there's a
that.
leak, that's a different animal.
So we're gonna be moving now.
You mentioned, last week about what the cost was for you. Look at the roof. What's the cost? And looking at the roof and what do you look for?
On the roof inspection is $129, includes a tube of self-leveling die cord. What that gets, we put that in the shop. We get a tech on top of it, and they're going around checking, like I mentioned, where the transition from the nose cap to the rubber membrane at the front. It seals across the back of the top. Anything that comes up through that rubber membrane that has to have that self-leveling sealing, they're checking that. If there's areas, what that stuff will do over time is it starts to dry out, then it starts to crack, then it starts to break away and flake off. And they're going through and filling in voids that they see here and there. Every now and then we'll get up there and we see where one is beyond the point of being able to fix it.
I think it's gonna probably be a problem
That
for you.
is the case.
She has high
Talk with that tech, we get up to ourselves, and we come up with a plan of here's what we recommend to correct this one. Just reach out to you as the customer and tell you, hey, here's what we're finding, here's some options you've got, here's some prices. But the inspection itself, it doesn't include something like this.
What is the best thing you want that?
So, we have, in our opinion, the manufacturer will tell you inspect your roof and your seals every 90 days, and you can't do it enough. I mean, you can't check enough because when the problem does develop, it can become a big problem quickly. We recommend at the very least, when you de-winterize and when you winterize, get up there and check your seals, check around your windows, your corners, on the walls. It's a good time to look at slide seals. You want that in the summertime when you're camping, you're in that thing. Whether it is you're preparing to go somewhere or you're camping. If you develop a problem through the summer, you're more apt to spot it quicker because you're in and out of it far. You go into the wintertime, it's a good idea to have everything right and ready because you're not going to be in it. Typically, you will not be in it as much in the winter. And if you did develop a leak problem, you can get away from it.
Especially if you don't have it covered, and you've got snow and ice, it just sits on there. And then that water is just gonna seep and go, gotta go somewhere. So it's gonna find whatever opening it can, it's gonna go in.
If you only go do it once a year, don't recommend it. We're putting it away for the winter. We want to be sure that things are sealed.
Was it getting a little bit cold out there now to be sealing the,
Needs to be at least 50 degrees outside.
pretty well 50 degrees?
But we're doing it in the shop.
Right, I know you guys do the shop,
And
make it nice.
then they make sure it's dry, you know,
Right,
and they'll pull out the next day or later that afternoon, you know,
Yeah.
after they did in the morning.
right.
We're sealing in the summer. If we check the forecast, winter weather rain, we see a lot of them sitting
Right.
out on the acre. But
Yeah.
at this time of year, they're getting sealed indoors and then they're sitting there overnight.
Right.
What else? Greg and I will be here till 5 o'clock. If there's any questions, if you haven't got your RV winterized yet, you need to. We're well practiced this season already. Well, there's a few
Oh, well,
rolling
we're
in
going to
October.
that's what that other one is.
November.